What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's a truck update video on my F-150. I'm kind of just going to show you everything I've done to it since it was stock. I know if you watch some of my older videos on the F-150, you can see some of the stuff I've done, and you're going to see how this truck has changed. There's some stuff that I put on there 4 years ago during 2020, the lockdown, that I didn't even document and show. So now I get to actually review those and give you my 2 cents about them since they've been on my truck for 4 years now. So let's get to it. The first thing I did to this truck, right when I bought it, I already had this Roush catback exhaust system in my cart. So I just pulled the trigger on it right away, and me and a buddy put it on, and it made this 5-liter sound amazing. Now, I do have a video on my channel of this exhaust kind of right around the time I did it, except it kind of sucks. So I am redoing my exhaust video, so stay tuned for that in the future. The second thing I ever did to this truck was the Roush cold air intake. This thing paired with the Roush catback exhaust sounds amazing. This makes your engine more throaty in the cab, so be prepared for the noise and loud, but I don't think you'll ever get tired of it. This is also in the Roush video that I have on my channel, the exhaust video that I'm remaking, but I do show a sound clip of this as well if you want to go check that out. But this is the second thing I ever did. Let's get on to the third thing. The third thing I put on this truck, I did a 2-inch puck level. However, that's not what's on there now. I gladly got rid of that, and I'll tell you why. When you have a puck level, it's fine when you're on your stock tire size. It feels okay. When you go to bigger tires, it gets clunky and it gets rough. So I was gonna wait and show you what I have on there in order, but I have to show you this because it goes with number 4. So what I have on there now, I've had these for 4 years, since 2020. Fox 2.0 coilovers. They're set at 2-inch level. That's what they come as. So it's still a 2-inch level. And with the 12th gen F-150, you can absolutely keep your control arm, your stock control arms, because the angles aren't bad. And I also have the Fox rear shocks. Now, in my opinion, that is the perfect level. My truck is perfectly level with these. So a 2-inch level seems really perfect for these 12th gen F-150s. Now let me give you the review on the Fox shocks. I've had them for 4 years. The Fox shocks are very, very good. Now, with the puck level, after I did my bigger tires, it started getting really rough. The Fox, after they broke in, after about 1,000 miles, these Fox shocks broke in very, very nice. So my truck feels smooth. But it is still rough. It's an off-road suspension, so like you can hit some bumps and you're like, man, that was kind of rough, but you can hit a pothole and be like, man, I didn't even feel that at all. So that's kind of my takeaway from it. Like I said, it's been 4 years. They still feel good. They still look good. They're not leaking. I know people say you have to get them rebuilt sometimes. I haven't dealt with that yet. I will let y'all know if I do. But as of now, that is my suspension setup. So another thing that I forgot to mention with the Fox 2.0 and the rear shocks is the truck feels way more planted. So what I mean by that is going around a turn or a corner, the truck has way less body roll than it does with the stock suspension. Another thing is I really feel like these give me more articulation, because I've had this truck off-roading one time with the Fox suspension, and I feel like I had that the back wheel stretched pretty good. And I've had my back wheel off the ground a little bit with FX4 suspension, the regular Ford suspension. So I feel like you might get 1 inch or 2 more of articulation, which is a major plus if you're an off-roader. The fourth thing that I did right after I put that puck level on was put these 295 70 18s on. And it's still the same tires. I have a video right when I put these tires on my channel if you want to check that out. I had my stock wheels though, but I had these tires on there. And these Nitto Ridge Grapplers are the best tires I've ever owned. Yes, they have some dry cracking, but these tires have been on here for a long time and a lot of miles, and they still have quite a bit left of tread. They're getting pretty low now. I'm gonna have to get some tires probably next year, but these tires are very good off-road. and I haven't had any problems slipping in the rain. A lot of people say they slip in the rain. I haven't had any problems with these tires. And let me tell you another reason why I went with this tire size. So, on 12th gen F150s, you see the control arm right there. See that gap that I still have? I have this gap. Okay, if you run 35 by 1250s, you're rubbing this control arm. So you would have to run a spacer. I don't like spacers. I ran this size because, so when I had my stock wheels, we gotta remember I had my stock wheels, I still had space. My finger was probably where my stock wheels were. I still had space. When you have this tire size, a 2-inch level, and stock wheels, you don't rub anything on these 12th gen F150s. So if you have a 12th gen F150 and you want some 18-inch wheels, 295 70 18s, and stock wheels won't rub anything. 295 70 18s are a 34.4 by 11.6, 11.8. It depends on the tire manufacturer. The Nittos seem to run around 11.8. So they almost look like a 35. And I can tell you, they're not at 33. I ran 33s in this truck for a little bit, some 305s, and these are way bigger than that. And let me tell you another reason why I know they're bigger than that. My truck has 355 gearing. As soon as I put these on there, oh man, it felt, I could feel the tires for sure. So yes, if you want a 35 look, but you don't want to deal with running into your control arms, and you don't want to run a spacer, this is a very good size to go with. The fifth thing I ever did to this truck was get 18 by 9 plus 18 offset Method 305 NVs. Now these have changed a little bit. If you go back and watch the video when I got these wheels, they had a center cap that came out to here that was kind of ugly. They had zinc plated beadlock bolts. I have a recent video actually of me replacing these fake beadlock bolts because the Method offers a wheel now called the Blackout Edition that already looks like this. But they didn't offer that when I bought these. So, and the reason I did 18 by 9 with the plus 18 offset is, remember the gap I was talking about to the control arm. Remember I said my stocks were probably about right here and I still have space. Well, the plus 18 offset pushes the tire that way, so it gives me more room if I ever want to put tubular control arms on here. A lot of people don't understand that tubular control arms usually come out a little bit farther than the stock because they're correcting a little bit of an angle. So like those people that run 35s already are going to rub the control arm. Now if you try to put tubular on there, you're going to have to rub a lot. So I don't like spacers, I don't like any of that. I did a lot of research when it came to my setup. So I should be able to run some tubular control arms and not have to worry about hitting anything. However, the offset did cause me, remember I said on stock wheels with this tire size, you don't rub anything as long as you have a 2-inch level. However, with that plus 18, I had to cut a little bit of plastic, nothing crazy, no metal cutting at all. Just it rubbed a little bit of plastic back here and it rubbed a little bit of plastic right there, which I cut. That's it. That's all I had to do when I switched to the Method race wheels. Another reason I did the plus 18 offset is because I don't want them sticking way out, but I wanted it flush with my factory fender flare. So it sticks out about 1 inch, but it's still even with that fender flare. So I've had trucks in the past that I've had them stick out and then my paint would get eaten up like crazy with rocks getting shot on there. But yes, that is the perfect setup that I wanted since I'm doing a more off-road build for this truck that makes it look how I want it, and I'm really happy with this whole suspension, tire, and wheel setup. All right, number 6, we're going to talk about emblems. Now, however, this was really number 4 that I put on the truck, but I wanted to include it with emblems. Everyone hates these Raptor grills, fake Raptor. This is a Raptor. That's not even, I hate that argument. But I will say they really only do look good color matched. So I had this color matched professionally by a acquaintance buddy that has actually passed away in the past few years, unfortunately. He did a great job color matching this ruby red on this truck, and I like the 3 lights. So it's just an F-150 grill to me, and the only reason I put this on here is because I have this grill and I like the factory FX4 grills, but this is the issue right here, is these were breaking all the time and it just looks like trash. Now if I could ever find the back piece to this, I think I will fix this grill and maybe throw it back on the truck eventually and get this custom to the one that looks like on my tailgate, which I'll show you here in a minute. I'm gonna show you real quick before I get into the emblems how this is wired. So in case you get a grill like this, you can see what I did and where I spliced it to. So you plug in your connectors to your lights and you run your wiring down here all the way, follow your channel, and I spliced into this light right here. It's your parking light. It doesn't blink with your blinker. This is your blinker. This light only comes on when you unlock the truck, lock the truck. When your headlights come on at night, your auto lights, they'll come on. I didn't want that light. I didn't want these coming on with daytime running lights. I didn't want these lights always on. So that's how I ran the wiring for the grill lights. And I'm gonna show you them real quick. So there it is. Let's get to the emblems now. So here's my side badges. They're blacked out FX4 ones. The only thing I did to it was take my ruby red paint marker and make the FX4 ruby red to give it that nice little touch. I'm convinced I got the last version of these because every time I recommend them to people, I can't find them. So you might have to get the newer truck version badge. Let's go to the back now. I have the blacked out F150 badge and a custom made ruby red and black Ford emblem that I had a guy I found on a forum. He did this for me for 90 bucks. I don't have a camera on mine. I wish my truck had a camera. I don't know why it doesn't have a camera, but it's just a base, you know, base badge. The only chrome thing I have is that flex fuel. I'm gonna take that off probably, but that is my badges. All right, let's move on to number 7. Staying at the back of the truck, smoked out LED tail lights and third brake light. I have 2 separate videos, one of me installing these and one installing that. That's just an Amazon light. It's still holding up, still looks good. These, I love these and they look very, very good. However, if you watch the video of me installing them, you'll see that they had hyper flash, even though they had resistors and everything in there. My number 8 thing is gonna show you how I combated that. So let's get to number 8. But these are the smoke tail lights. Now number 8, I have an acquaintance buddy that owns a shop here in town, and he has ForScan software. Now, ForScan, you can do a lot of cool stuff to your Fords on. So he was able to go into my truck, go under the bulb outage, because that's what happens when you have LED lights and they have a bad resistor or they don't have a resistor and they hyper flash, your vehicle thinks there is a bulb out. So he went under there and he turned that off. So my truck thinks that it has bulbs now. So my hyper flash stopped. We also turned off my tire pressure monitors because when you put bigger tires on, sometimes when those pressure sensors ping in the wrong moment, since there's more space in between a bigger tire and your wheel now with bigger tires, your truck's used to stop, so it pings in the wrong spot, and it just kept throwing a dash light on my truck sometimes. It'd go away and then come back. So I confirmed that they weren't bad tire monitors, so I don't need tire monitors. Another thing we did is, my truck is built in Canada. Canada requires headlights to always be on, from what I've heard. So my truck always had the headlights on as the daytime running lights. So I was going through LED bulbs like crazy. We went in there and we turned off my daytime running lights off completely. Now, before you say anything about having no daytime running lights, I am someone that manually turns my lights on if it's cloudy or raining. However, the truck is really good about turning the headlights on if it even gets a little dark. So I manually do it. And if you haven't noticed, it's Texas, it's 100 degrees, it's sunny. If you can't see a red truck coming at you, then you shouldn't even be driving. Daytime running lights aren't gonna help that at all. So that is my take on daytime running lights. I manually turn my lights on personally when I need to. Another thing we did, which I'll show you in the next clip, we did something called Bambi mode. So Bambi mode means my fog lights will stay on with my high beams. So let me show you that real quick. The 9th thing that I did is I have Amp Research auto steps. My buddy sold them to me for a good price off his Ford Raptor, and he helped me install them. And they're the wired version, so we had to splice into the passenger side wiring for the door to actuate these steps. But I like the wired version, and I like it because it doesn't look like I have steps. Now, if you've seen my channel before, you've seen this truck with some Go Rhino RB20 boards on there. I have a video as well on my channel of me installing those, and I liked those. However, they were too wide for me, and of course they came out with RB20 Slims after I already bought mine, and I probably would still have the Slims on my truck if I would have bought Slims, because they looked like a rock slider step, kind of like a rock, you know, like a Raptor kind of style, off-road style. But I actually like my truck to where it doesn't look like I have any steps at all. So I like these Amp Research steps for sure. The 10th thing I've done to this truck was put an Oz Omega tune on there. Everyone calls it a OZ tune, but it's Oz, because Ken Osborne is the guy that behind the tuning. He knows these 5 liters back and forth like the back of his hand. So this truck, the Oz Omega tune, I have 2 videos on it on my channel. One is not so good, one is pretty decent. I actually show, since it's a flex fuel tune, there is a difference between 87 and 93 for sure as far as power. So I always keep 93 in the tank on this truck now because it feels really good. This tune has made this truck very daily drivable, and I don't care about racing. This truck is quicker now for sure, but daily drivable is the drivability is crazy on this. I can get on the highway, I can pass people, I can do whatever I want. It takes off the speed limiter, the rev limiter, changes your shift points to be way better. Your throttle response is better. It tunes your tow haul mode. So when I was pulling my side-by-side in my trailer, I can't even feel that anymore. It tunes your manual mode. So if you're shifting gears, like my plus and minus, there used to be a little lag. Now that lag is basically non-existent if I want to have some fun. It tunes, my truck is tuned to my speedometer is in sync with my tires, is what I meant, was what I was trying to get at. So now my tire size is correct, my speedometer is correct. Ken Osborne knows what he's doing, and they are the guys at Oz Tuning are very helpful. I had some issues with my SCTX4 tuner. They walked me through it. They're very responsive. I really recommend this tune. They know what they're doing on 5-liter Coyote trucks, and he also does Mustangs. I think he does the 6.2 liters as well, and obviously the newer trucks, 15 and up, the 21, he's already got stuff for them. I highly recommend you look into them. The 11th thing I've done on the truck is these Morimoto sequential turn signal mirror lights. They're really bright. The only complaint I have with them is these outside ones will absolutely let moisture in there. I don't know if I got a bad batch or something, but they let moisture in there, so I had to kind of silicone these. I actually bought a new pair because I didn't buy the warranty, so I bought a new pair. I have them in the toolbox, and I siliconed the whole outside again, so I just need to put them in. But for now, these look good. I have a video showing how to install these and not breaking your mirror. These are new mirrors. I show you how to not break your stock ones or your other mirrors. This is a different style than the stock ones, so the internals were different. So basically it's 3 videos in one. It's how to install the Morimotos and how to install side mirrors, and also how to not break your mirrors, because a lot of pages or a lot of people say just grab the mirror and yank down. 99% of the time, or what happened to me is I had some spare mirrors to kind of practice on, and I broke them, so I sacrificed 2 mirrors to learn how to do this right, because these are brittle. They're older mirrors, they're brittle, so you got to watch out for the internals. But I show you how to do it so you don't break them. So if you want to watch that video, it is on my channel as well. Now all the rest of the stuff I'm going to tell you is honorable mention stuff, because it's just random stuff. So I got these nice seat covers. I do not recommend them, and the reason I don't recommend them is because they didn't come with instructions on how to do them, and they're very confusing. So, but they are nice, and I found this on Amazon to match. Obviously all LED interior lighting. That's kind of a given that you need to do on all your trucks just to make it look better. What else have I done in here? I do have a pedal commander still. I have a tune, so I don't need it, but I have a pedal commander, and actually my tune with my pedal commander on sport mode feels amazing. Now I know they say don't run your pedal commanders with sport mode. I mean, not sport mode, with a tune. But I haven't had any problems, and like I said, I don't race this truck or do anything crazy. I think that is basically all on the interior. Nothing much. That's why I just said this is an honorable mention. It's not really anything crazy. So yeah. Oh, I did paint the I have a video of me painting. The light makes it look weird, but I painted these black, my speaker cover boxes, because if you watch that video, they looked kind of, they're just weird. They were this color right here, and there was some like stains on them and stuff, I guess, from previous owners. But, and this is what I'm telling you about the seat covers. So this is not a seat cover right here, but this, I couldn't figure out the middle piece, so definitely don't recommend these. But there is some that are kind of like these, and it is a nice leather material, and it's held up quite a while. So obviously have, you know, LED headlights and LED fog lights. I used to have a bull bar on this truck, if you've watched any of the older videos where it had a bull bar, and I thought that was cool, and it looked kind of bad when I go back and look at it, but I took that off and color matched my tow hooks ruby red for a little touch. And then I just have a little stubby antenna from Amazon because I was tired of pulling my truck in the garage and it bending. But I'm basically done with my truck. I mean, if I want to put some tubular control arms on there, eventually I will, but I think well, you're never done. So I'm sure I'm gonna add more stuff to this, but for right now, this is how I want it. And this is how it's been for the last couple of years. So that is the truck. Well, that is the end of the truck update video. That is how my F-150 sits as of now. If you have any questions, comment down below. I'll get back to you. I try to give you some detail in the video and reference some of my other videos so you can go check out my channel and watch. I have about 850 subscribers right now. I appreciate every single one of y'all. If you're not, please like and subscribe. If you want to, if you enjoy some of the content, if you enjoy this truck or at least looking at it, or like I said, anything I can do to help, and any information I can give, I try to express on my channel. So like I said, that's how I like my truck, and it's gonna stay like that for a little while because my side-by-sides kind of got me spending some money that I don't want to spend. But anyways, I'm gonna end the video. I appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.